So nitrogenous bases adenine, guanine, thymine, cytosine, uracil, and pentose sugar. In case of DNA, it is deoxyribose sugar, and in case of RNA, it is ribose sugar.
Ribose.
Okay. So these three together you call it as nucleotide. So this nucleotide is a building block for the units what take place in the formation of the double stranded DNA and also single stranded RNA. Okay, then so apart from this, the nucleotides like flavin adenine dinucleotide, niacin adenine dinucleotide, they are actually B complex type of coenzymes which help in various metabolic reactions. Okay, so because it is a chemistry question only, now the question didn't come from metabolism, from the chemistry of nucleic acids only the topic has come, structure of DNA. So you are of course supposed to write everything better. Now you should talk about the nucleotides, like we have purines and pyrimidines, isn't it? We know all this. 5.1 figure we will see once. Okay, this is the general structure, we need not remember better. Structure wise we don't require, that is for sure. Okay, then major nitrogen bases we know this, all this like adenine, guanine, thymine, cytosine. In case of RNA we have uracil instead of thymine, this fact also we know. Okay,
Me short या very short?
I'm sorry but so structure of nucleotides, just name them better, you need not write the structures at all, you need not draw them. Okay, then now we are asked the question, what are the types of DNAs, right? So basically we have like nucleosides and nucleotides. So what is the difference between nucleoside and nucleotide? So nucleoside,
Ma'am, the nucleoside consists of base and nitrogenous base and pentose sugar, whereas nucleotide consists of phosphate also, phosphate group.
okay. So nucleosides, and that is the difference. Okay, very good. Beta. Then structure of DNA. See. So double helix model we have, isn't it? So that is Chargaff's rule. We have, see, this is double helix model. This is the classical double helix model you should talk about. So we have two strands, one strand running in 5 prime 3 prime direction, the other strand is running in 3 prime 5 prime direction. Okay, then we have all these nitrogen bases, like which is forming the backbone, like phosphate, and we have sugars. Okay, then we have like the nitrogen, like what are these? We have adenine. We know, yeah, adenine pairs with thymine, guanine pairs with cytosine. Okay, so these are the nitrogen bases, A, T, G, C. So between A and T we have double bond, between G and C we have triple bond. Okay, so and the distance between these two nitrogen bases is how much, beta? 0.34
0.3
nanometer.
nanometer, 3-4 nanometer.
Huh. And the whole the coil, if you take the measurement of one coil to the other coil, it is 3.4 nanometer. Okay, so between the two coils, whatever constriction is there, that is called as minor groove. We also have the space, if it is more you call it as major groove. The diameter is something like 2 nanometers, but you just practice this diagram and you Chargaff's rule of just base pairing adenine ATGC that you write. Okay, so this is quite a classical type of model which you can easily understand. So apart from this, we have other types of DNA also. Okay, so this is Watson and Crick model, for which they won the Nobel Prize in 1962. Okay, so what are the various other types of DNAs? You just check this table better. So what are the other types? Ritika, you have in the list here? BDNA, ADNA, and ZDNA, isn't it? So, we have right-handed. So what are the, if you just study the Watson and Crick model thoroughly, you can just compare and contrast. Okay, whether it is right-handed or left-handed, then just what is the helical diameter. Just now we have studied, no? So all these types of DNAs is now asked as an essay question, and he is asking you to give the details of BDNA. Okay, So the BDNA is the one what we have just studied, this Watson and Crick model only beta, that is 3.4.34, all this. Okay. So apart from that, the other two types of DNAs also you try to discuss. Okay. So that is all about this essay question. That's it, but this answer. Okay, so what are the types of DNA? Describe the structure of DNA. How is DNA organized in the nucleus? So how is the DNA organized in the nucleus? It is, of course, set in the form of coil chromatin, isn't it?
Chromosomes, chromatin. Yes.
So denaturation. Organization in the nucleus is a general question, I guess, but it's not discussed here.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, we'll go with the next question now. Okay. What are the various biochemical liver function tests and biochemical findings in different types of jaundice? Ritika, do you remember what is the major biochemical liver function test we have discussed till now? Imad? We have.
Yes, ma'am.
Ritika, are you able to hear? Are you with us? 53. You're not talking.
Ma'am, is it the
Yes, ma'am.
alanine transaminase, aspartate transaminase
Those
test,
are enzyme levels which are
alkaline
increased.
phosphatase?
But I gave you one important test. Ritika, do you remember that beta?
No, ma'am.
Okay, but Vandenberg's reaction.
Okay.
Whenever this liver function test word
Oh,
comes, no, you should always recollect Vandenberg's reaction. Okay. So, what are the various types of jaundice we have, beta? I will discuss first in
Hemolytic,
then.
hepatic, and obstructive.
Okay.
That I think we have already discussed.
So under what are the other names, Ritika, for hemolytic? Prehepatic, hepatic, and post-hepatic. Prehepatic is nothing but hemolytic. Hepatic is nothing but the one which is related to the liver disorder. And post-hepatic is nothing but obstructive jaundice. Okay. So now, in case of see, liver is the largest gland in our body, isn't it? And it is performing around more than 2000 functions. It regulates almost all the metabolisms, isn't it? Now, in this organ function test, basically, what is the meaning of organ function test? When suppose if a person is coming to us, he is presenting with jaundice. So you will take up certain investigations. You will write certain investigations to check if the liver is functioning normal or not. Suppose if a person is coming with renal failure, urine output is less or urine output is too high or urine has some bad smell or urine has blood or something, you will go with kidney function test. Like that, based on what type of organ which is suffering, we generally undertake organ function test. Now here liver function test is asked an essay question. So we should not confine our answer only to Vandenberg's reaction. Imad, we should write so much, many more things also. We have discussed only Vandenberg till now. Okay. So now see
Okay.
in this liver function test, this like a short story of functions is also given, like it is regulating metabolisms, it is excreting bile pigments, it is giving protection, it is bringing about detoxification, hematological function, storage function and all. We know all this. Now see here, in order to check whether the liver is functioning normally or not, we have various tests which are undertaken. Now see here, this table will help us to, as Imad was just telling us, we will check for alanine transaminase, aspartate transaminase. Why? Because see here, in order to check liver function, a list of liver functions and common markers in plasma for impaired function. That means what? Uh, See here, heme catabolism. Suppose we know like liver is chiefly responsible for the uh, what do you call that conjugation of bilirubin, isn't it? It is now
Yes, ma'am.
what is it converted to? Bilirubin diglucuronide with the help of UDP, isn't it, Pita? So that means if
Yes.
suppose liver is not functioning normally, obviously bilirubin will remain like that only in the blood, and if the bilirubin levels will be rising in the blood, okay, that shows liver failure, isn't it? So heme catabolism, suppose if it is something is going wrong, if it is excess and if you are finding increased bilirubin level, so this is one of the marker which helps us to tell like yes, liver is not functioning normally, or it can be other way around. Maybe liver is functioning normally only, but there is excessive heme catabolism more than what is normal. Okay, so if more RBCs are being broken down than the normal metabolic thing which has to take place, then also you will see more erythrocytes are being hemolytic jaundice, as you said. Okay, where are you have the other types of different sickle cell anemia, where you will see the RBC shape is distorted into sickle and they get easily broken down. So in all these things we have to check with this parameter. So suppose if liver is damaged, these enzyme levels will rise. Okay, alanine transaminase, aspartate transaminase, and gamma glutamyl transpeptidase. We know liver is the seat for protein synthesis, that is plasma proteins, albumin and globulin. Okay, suppose
Yes,
if
ma'am.
liver is damaged, the albumin levels will fall in the blood, and the clotting factors are also synthesized by liver. So it causes increased prothrombin time. That means the clotting mechanism will not be fast. Okay, so protein catabolism is also regulated by liver. Suppose if liver is not well, see blood urea levels are rising, ammonia levels are rising. This we have studied in urea cycle. Can you tell me what happens if urea, can you tell me at least one disease where urea metabolism is deranged? Hyperammonemia
Yeah.
type 1, hyperammonemia type 2, isn't it? Okay, that
Yes, ma'am.
means urea
Yes,
cycle
ma'am.
is disturbed. Okay, so suppose if the metabolites which that means urea levels, if they are rising, I told you it is very dangerous and it will lead to coma. The person will go into coma. Ammonia is a very dangerous end product. That's the reason ammonia has to get detoxified immediately to the safe end product, that is urea, for which it will be combining with carbon dioxide, no, in the presence of NAG, no, N-acetyl glutamyl. So that was the first step. NH3 plus CO2. Hmm? We have series of steps, no, ornithine, citrulline, and all. So that metabolism is being deranged because liver is playing an active role. So urea levels are increased, ammonia levels are increased, even lipid metabolism is not being handled properly because of liver failure. Cholesterol levels are increased, triglycerides. What are the transport form of lipids, Peta? Transport form of cholesterol we have seen.
Serum lipoproteins.
Very good. Name them.
Lipoprotein.
Yes, Beta. Ritika, please
VLDL,
name them.
HDL. Okay.
VLDL, LDL, HDL, and
VLDL, HDL,
chylomicrons.
Very good, Beta.
chylomicrons.
Very good. Very good. Okay, VLDL, HDL, LDL, and chylomicrons. Okay, they cannot be formed because of the damage to the liver, because of which you will see the free cholesterol and triglyceride levels will increase in the blood. Okay, we know from the chapter detoxification, xenobiotics, the detoxification mechanism is taking place in the liver. Excretion mechanism is taking place in the kidney. So if suppose if drugs, if we are taking paracetamol, we are taking aspirin, we are taking some antibiotic, all the drugs, though they kill the microorganisms, though they show the wanted effect, at the same time they have to get metabolized, they have to get detoxified and excreted. Suppose if liver is not functioning, then you will see like what happens, the drug remains in the blood for longer time, damaging our normal natural cells. If you check in the blood, you will see the drugs are still available. So that means half lives of drugs will increase if the liver is damaged. Okay, bile acid metabolism also will increase. Increased bile acids, can you name the bile acids, beta?
Deoxy. There are primary bile acids and secondary bile acids.
Yeah.
Uh, Primary bile acids include the uh, taurocholates and
Ah,
glycocholates of
yeah,
sodium, potassium,
yeah, very good. Quinodeoxycholic acid, lithocholic acid.
ethylcholic acid.
Okay, nice, very good, beta. So you have to elaborate on this because it has come as an essay. The same thing has been discussed here. Okay, now after, and you should know the normal serum bilirubin level also, because heme metabolism, when RBC's lifespan is over 120 days, obviously it will break into heme plus globin. Globin is going and it is getting converted to protein and it is recycled for the purpose of synthesis of plasma protein, whereas heme is broken down to pigments like bilirubin, gradually converted to biliverdin. So suppose this should be a normal mechanism, but suppose if something goes wrong, if there is excessive RBC breakdown, or if there is damage to the liver, or if the bile juice which is formed already, if it is not going into the second part of the duodenum, and again that bile salts and bile pigments, if they are going back and reabsorbed into the blood circulation, under such mechanisms bilirubin levels will increase in the blood. That's the reason we should know the normal range. Icterus means jaundice, beta. Always remember, sometimes the word icterus also will be asked. Directly, instead of using the word jaundice, the examiner may use the word icterus, that is nothing but jaundice. So icterus index is nothing but, so how much amount of bilirubin is present in the serum, which is imparting yellow color to the conjunctiva, to the nails. Okay, you will see so much of yellowish discoloration. Okay, so the sclera all it takes like yellowish tinge. Now coming to this Vandenberg's reaction. Now this Vandenberg's reaction we have discussed previously in detail. So I told you we have three types of jaundice, no, hemolytic, obstructive and hepatic. So this is nothing but prehepatic, this is hepatic, and this is post-hepatic type of jaundice, beta. So in case of pre-hepatic jaundice, so what happens is, first of all you have to collect the patient's serum and then just put Vandenberg's reagent. So when you put the Vandenberg's reagent, generally here in case of hemolytic jaundice you will not see purple color. If you add alcohol, then only purple color appears. Okay, so that is first indirect positive. Take the test tube, put the patient's serum and directly put Vandenberg's reagent. No purple color. Then you are suspecting maybe you have here, you are checking for UDP type of conjugated bilirubin. If it is available, then only you will get directly that violet color. But here you are not getting. That means you have to add alcohol. After that, the purple color comes. So you call this as indirect positive. In case of obstructive jaundice, obviously the conjugated bilirubin will be present, no? Obstructive means what, beta? So in the gallbladder, there may be some, like in the extrahepatic biliary apparatus, that is in the gallbladder, neck of the gallbladder, cystic duct, anywhere in the common hepatic duct, if there is any obstruction, either due to tumor or due to gallstones, cholelithiasis, in such conditions, you will see what happens. There will not be like outflow of the bile juice into the second part
Yeah,
of the duodenum.
conjugation of bilirubin will take place, but
Will take
it is
place.
obstructed due to bile canaliculi or bile ducts.
Canalicula you will see at the level of liver, beta. Okay, the
Oh, okay, okay,
extra hepatic biliary apparatus you should say. Okay,
okay.
at the level of extra hepatic biliary apparatus there may be gallstones or there may be some tumors, because of which there will be obstruction. So if there is any obstruction, what happens? The bile juice will not enter into second part of duodenum. Obviously in such conditions what will happen?
Malabsorption of fat, steatoria.
Very good. Those are clinical symptoms. One more thing related to jaundice, what we should know is whatever bilirubin is there, that is now absorbed into the blood circulation through the capillaries, which are innervating the extrahepatic biliary apparatus. We remember cystic artery supplying the gallbladder. Small
Yes,
capillaries
ma'am.
will start reabsorbing the bilirubin into blood circulation. Like vasa recta, you
Yes, ma'am.
imagine for nephron, beta. So that's why in the blood what happens, conjugated bilirubin levels shoot up. That's the reason you take in the test tube serum and put alcohol, immediately purple color comes. Okay, you call this as direct positive. Hepatic jaundice
Yes,
can
ma'am.
be biphasic. So that means some of the bilirubin is conjugated, some of the bilirubin is unconjugated. Okay. So that means if you put in the serum, if you put this Vandenberg's reagent, light purple color will come. But if you put alcohol, the color intensifies. It becomes much darker. Then you have to call it as something like biphasic. Okay, it has both conjugated bilirubin and unconjugated bilirubin. Okay, that's what is hepatic jaundice. That means there is something wrong with the liver. Okay, beta. Ritika, is that clear?
Yes, yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, beta. So that's what we have to know. Then bilirubin in urine. Then we have Brom sulfatylin test. These are simple tests. Give one reading, beta. Okay. So you have to check the normal levels of these enzymes. Alanine transaminase, aspartate transaminase, beta. Okay. So alkaline phosphatase levels are increased in obstructive jaundice. So overall, jaundice itself can come as a 5 marks question also. For this answer also, you should include jaundice. Okay, you please follow this table. It's quite easy. I have given you enough explanation about these three types of jaundice. Just check like what are the enzyme. Alanine transaminase is ALT, aspartate transaminase is AST, ALP is alkaline phosphatase. So which enzyme levels are remaining normal, which enzyme in which type of jaundice. Okay beta, it's must and should, very important. That means it covers two answers. If jaundice comes as a 5 marks question, you can give this and you can elaborate in your own words. At the same time, if it comes as an essay also, you can include this. Okay. So this is normal hemoglobin bilirubin metabolism. See, 120 days RBCs are being broken down, unconjugated bilirubin. So it is now going to the liver with the help of albumin for the purpose of transport. It's combining with UDP for the purpose of glucuronation. You call it as conjugated bilirubin. From there, it is entering into second part of duodenum through the extrahepatic biliary apparatus, common bile duct, hepatopancreatic ampulla of water. Isn't it better? Then conjugated bilirubin, urobilinogen, urobilin, finally stercobilin. These are the series of steps. Okay, urobilin is imparting that light yellow color to the urine, amber color to the urine. Okay, this is normal mechanism. You please give this table if it comes as an essay, but it's quite interesting, no? Even if you write little answer, if you give things like this, it becomes very attractive to the examiner. Tables, flowcharts, and diagrams. It will give you easily 13.5 to 14 marks. Okay. So here see RBCs. Here it can be increased unconjugated bilirubin. What are the enzymes which are increased? Okay, everything is given here. Just go through it. Okay. So that is all about different types of jaundice and how it is rearranged. And a lot of information is given. You need not go through so much because see, for an essay you will not have more than half an hour. Okay, not more than 30 minutes. So in such a case, you should be more judicial and wise to select your points which are catchy to the examiner. Okay, see that all headings are there and you give more tables, flowcharts and diagrams. Okay, and see that you are writing at least 1 or 2 points under each heading. Okay, so that will help you to gain more marks. Then we'll go with the next answer now. Hope you
Yes, ma'am.
understand. Okay. Okay, role of lungs in the maintenance of body pH. So we have already done role of what, beta? Ritika, in chapter pH regulation, one top, we have three mechanisms for the regulation of pH. One mechanism we have done in our previous classes. Regulation. Do you remember bit of what this water electrolyte acid is 468? Yeah, Maju. Okay, ma'am. Hmm? 68. So we have different mechanisms for the regulation of pH, right? What is the normal pH, Ritika?
7 point
Very good, beta.
3 or 4.
Very good. 7.4 to 7.6. Okay. So, what is the agent which stops the change in pH in our blood? What do you call that agent?
Buffer.
Buffer.
Upper.
Okay. So, what are the various mechanisms we have in the blood, beta? See here. Now, remember, I was asking this question, beta. We have three different types of buffer systems in our body for the regulation of our blood pH to 7.4. We have blood buffers, respiratory mechanism, and renal mechanism. In our previous class, did we do blood buffer, beta? Bicarbonate buffer.
Yes, ma'am. Bicarbonate,
Huh?
phosphate.
Yeah, do you remember?
Phosphate.
Yes, beta, very good. Okay,
Yes,
now,
ma'am.
yeah, beta. Now he is asking us respiratory mechanism. It itself can come as an essay, but a whole maintenance of blood pH. The question usually comes: what are the various mechanisms with the help of which the pH of the blood is maintained? Then you have to give the list of these three, and one system will be asked in detail usually, and that will be blood only. But respiratory mechanism, renal mechanism, they usually come as 5 marks questions. Okay, now let us see respiratory mechanism. So under this respiratory mechanism also, again you have that universal formula, like what? Suppose, basically, I'll tell you in general first before I take you to the topic. See, normal pH you are telling like it is how much? 7.4. I'm keeping the page here only so that you don't read and concentrate on what I'm talking. See, the normal blood pH is 7.4, isn't it? So suppose if the blood pH is falling down, that means if it is becoming acidic, basically lungs are concerned with inspiration and expiration. Suppose if there is any obstructive disease, obstructive in the sense there may be bronchitis, bronchiectasis, chronic obstructive pulmonary disease. So if there is any obstruction in the tracheobronchial tree, what happens? The person will not be able to exhale. That means, so whatever oxygen is inhaled and it is converted to carbon dioxide, it's being arrested in the cardiovascular system. Basically, under normal circumstances, whenever carbon dioxide levels are rising in the blood, see, under the regulation of respiration also we have studied, whenever carbon dioxide levels rise, it triggers the respiratory centers in the brain and it will cause hyperventilation. That means rate and depth of respiration will increase. The number of times the person breathes and the depth is also increasing, because of which carbon dioxide will be washed out. And if carbon dioxide is there in the blood, we know it combines with oxygen to form carbonic acid. Again, that means acidity in the blood will increase. In order to avoid this acidity, our body is doing its best efforts to just wash it out, and lungs are also playing a major role in washing out of carbon dioxide. That's how respiratory mechanism for pH regulation. So see here, beta, this you should write now. Now, inside the RBC, suppose if carbon dioxide levels are rising, it combines with H2O. Ca is carbonic anhydrous, isn't it? So it combines to form H2CO3. This is carbonic acid. So normally and naturally, it will be split into H plus and HCO3 minus. This is bicarbonate. We have alkali reserve. Do you remember, beta? Alkali is around how many times more, beta? I remember 20 times. Yeah, it's right.
20 times, yeah.
20 times more than acid, because whatever metabolic end products which are produced in our body are acids most of the times. Carbonic acid, pyruvic acid, lactic acid, acetoacetic acid, so many acids, only end products all acids. So in order to neutralize them, we need to have lot of base or alkali reserve. So that's the reason the bicarbonate is now transported to the plasma, and it is just as a bank balance, okay, to just neutralize our excessive production of acid. So the hemoglobin is combining with this acid to form HHB, okay. And we know this also from respiratory carbon dioxide transport, we have also studied in physiology by this chloride bicarbonate shift, hamburger shift. There also the same thing comes. The bicarbonate is exchanged for chloride. Okay. So this is the mechanism which is actually taking place in the lungs in order to wash out carbon dioxide and in order to bring about the regulation of normal body pH. Okay, beta? So this is just give one
Yes, ma'am.
reading, you will definitely understand. The less than 1 minute, I will send the link again. Please join fast, beta.